Hi, Don Cavellis here from Four Dog Stove Company, back here on the back 40, and I'm here to talk today about my titanium stoves for heating tents. I've been making titanium stoves for heating tents now since 1999. They've been used on multiple expeditions. They've been used extensively by hunters, trappers, adventurers in the far north. Some people using them up to 3 months hand hauling across the Ungava Peninsula. Stoves they use for that, they're still using on a regular basis. Advantages of using the titanium is that you have a stove, because of the unique properties of titanium, can take the heat much better than any other material. Titanium has a melting temperature of 3,200 degrees, where steel has a melting temperature of 2,400 degrees. You've got 60% of the weight compared to the same thickness of steel, but the other advantage of going on titanium is that you can go thinner than you would with steel, thus saving even more weight because of the unique properties of titanium. Now, I tend to make what I call expedition quality. In other words, the stoves that I've made for people to use on expeditions is the same stove you buy from me. The only thing I may have done is add a side shelf and maybe add some stovepipe. Other than that, the firebox, how the firebox is made, how the door is made, the leg system is exactly the same that you would buy as someone that would be going on an expedition. If you're looking for something just to use for the weekend and you're not concerned about longevity and durability, there's other people that, make some titanium stoves. But as to date, I don't know anyone that would go on an expedition with one of those. Some of the features that make my stoves unique is the fact that I reinforce the firebox with channels. So in other words, you can put a large pot for melting water and or feeding a large group of people, or making dog food for the dog mushers on top of the box, even when it's extremely hot, and it won't collapse on you. As you can see, the channels run across the top and down the sides. The other thing I offer is a side shelf, which we'll see a little bit later, set up, which allows you to take your pot as it starts to boil, shift over, and then allow it to simmer, or to allow for just to keep your water or your food content warm. Another unique feature that I do, I have the folding legs that just fold underneath, which adds to the rigidity of the stove for transport and protects the bottom, but are easily folded up for transport. And as you can also see, I have this feature on there, which allows you to run 2 sticks of wood through here, locking your legs in place and giving what you call snow float legs. What do I mean by that? That means being it's on that wood, that'll allow you to set this stove on snow, and because of the warm metal, it won't melt down into the snow. Another thing I do, if you notice on my door frame is a mitered frame. This is extremely rigid. The door is formed. We have a intake diverter, which is perforated metal, which allows you to see how your fire is burning, but does not allow sparks to fly out into your tent. The one thing that also I get people ask me, well, you must have put this together wrong. Because if you notice here, this tends to be up a little higher than on the bottom. The reason I do that is that way you get more primary air than secondary air. The other thing what that does, it creates turbulence. So as the air comes in, it causes it to divert and then mix better inside the firebox. The channels that I have in here also help create with the turbulence, which will help you get a better burn. The door seals very firmly, giving you not quite an airtight seal, but as you can see, the form of the door matches the lip on the door frame, thus giving you a very good seal, which gives you control of your burn. A lot of stoves, people will say it's either going really hot or it's out. This stove will allow you to get a 3 to 4 hour burn time depending on the type of fuel that you are burning. Another feature is with my air intake, it's on a spring, so it'll never jam, and it allows you to easily move to whatever position you want to allow for the control of your burn. This is riveted. This is all set seams and then spot welded. As you can see from the side here, you can see the spot welds for the reinforcements. The collar is a 18 gauge piece of titanium to give you added rigidity and strength. On this side, you'll see this is your bracket for your side shelf. This is the bottom support, so you have support rods that come up, so when you put a heavy pot on there, it's not going to bend over on you. Here we have this set up because today we're going to set this up in a tent teepee. We have in here, in this firebox, we have stored in here a side shelf, 2 sets of 4-piece telescoping stovepipe. What this gives you here is approximately 120 inches of stovepipe that nests down into the space of 2 pipes. How do we do that? Well, we start out here at 3 inches, we go out to 4 inches, and then we go from 4 inches down to 3 inches. And in your teepee type tents, the advantage of that is that it gives you kind of a belly inside your tent, so now you're getting all that heat off your pipe before it goes to the outside. Allows for better draw, allows for better efficiency. Some people ask, well, why don't I make the foil type pipe? I tried it, I looked at it many years ago, but I found at 20 below, I didn't want to be rolling a large piece of spring steel into a tube and put little keepers on it. This I can do with mittened hands. It stays secure. If I want, I can drill some holes and attach them with, as you've seen in other videos, with some sheet metal screws. So when I put this on my stove, I don't have to worry about it blowing off or pulling out. Very durable, very tough. All these items are made in-house. What I also have here, I have what I call my turbo spark arrestor. This spark arrestor is made out of titanium. It's modeled after the same type of spark arrestor that is used in service with the Finnish, Swedish, and Norwegian military, where they run their stovepipe right up the middle of their tents. And so it works very well. If you anything, picture it like a ported rifle. So if you have any embers being sucked up, they will be burned off in here and fall back down before they're sucked out to where they could burn your tent. Okay. Another unique feature I have on my stoves, I have a false bottom. In other words, you have another layer of titanium in the bottom that's resting on little legs. What does that do? Well, it helps insulate your coals and your wood when you start your fire, adds to the durability, adds to the longevity of your stove. Not many people offer that. Your damper is a simple piece of titanium, weighs approximately 2 ounces. And it's just a very basic system where you just slide in and out, which allows you to regulate the draw of your fire. Extremely lightweight, extremely serviceable. I'll show you here how the other thing that comes with the stove would be one adjustable elbow. What this allows you to do, as you can see, you can turn it this one angle, would allow you to go off at an angle from the top of your firebox. Say if you have like your campfire tent where you're going out the end wall, this will allow you to do that. This specific model is my Ultralight One Deluxe. That comes with a side shelf, 1 set of telescoping stovepipe, the elbow, and damper. The second set of telescoping pipes, so you can get that added length for like in your teepee type tent, is an additional cost, as also spark arrestor is available as an option. You can also get this stove with a baffle inside the firebox. What does the baffle do? The baffle increases your efficiency, it increases your safety because you no longer have a direct flame going up your chimney, and it also makes it much better to cook on because it diverts the flame so you have a nice hot spot which to cook on. It'll actually give you twice as much heat, half as much wood. But it does reduce somewhat your carrying capacity in your firebox. But what makes this stove nice, everything you need will fit in the firebox. On this model here, the total weight on this, with just 1 set of pipe, the side shelf, and the elbow and the stove, would give you approximate weight of 11 pounds. And as you can see, the longevity, I've been making them since '99. I haven't replaced one yet. I'll show you here how we mount the side shelf. Here again, you see the side shelf is made out of a heavy grade titanium. You have your 2 support rods that fold and lock in place in the side shelf. What I like to do, I'll kind of start it attaching it towards the back first. Put in my supports into the lower bracket, and then at the same time I will be pushing down from the top. Now, as you can see here, we have a sturdy platform on which to put our pots. The wonderful thing about the telescoping pipe, you've got these 4 sections which I'll put together now to show you how much pipe you get with that. It's quite easy to do. You just slip the pieces out. It's more of a nesting pipe than a true telescoping pipe. You can telescope it, but if you telescope it, you will not get as much length. As you can see here, this is giving you 60 inches of usable pipe. You're all set to go. That would be your Ultralight One Deluxe titanium stove, made by 4Dog Stoves since 1999. Now we've gone over the Ultralight One Deluxe, which is an excellent stove for heating up to an 8x10 wall tent or a 10x10 pyramid. You could use it in the tent teepee number 5, 7, or even 9 if you were going to use it for late season, late fall, early spring. But for winter use, I would suggest to go up to the Ultralight 2. Also, the Ultralight 1 has a 3-inch flue opening, which will allow your telescoping pipe to go from 3 to 4 inches. Now we'll go over to the Ultralight 2. The Ultralight 2 is 11 by 11 by 22 inches. It'll heat a 10 by 12 wall tent at 30 below. You could use that in a tent teepee number 9, and I know people that have up to a month at a time heated it at 25 to 30 below and have just been in the lap of luxury. I've had expeditions that use this stove to cook for up to 4 to 8 people for weeks on end. They'll get the optional additional side shelf. Another thing with this, just as on that one, you can get the optional baffle inside the firebox. This normally comes with 4 sections of 4-inch stovepipe. And or you have the option, as with this stove, to get the nesting pipe. The advantage of going by the nesting pipe is, as we've seen with this one, is that that'll allow you to put up to 118 inches of stovepipe that'll nest into the firebox. When set up for the tent teepee number 9, you'll use 6 sections of pipe. First one will be 4, it'll go out to 4 3/4, then it'll go from 4 3/4 down to 4 inches. Some of the features as you see sitting in here, what we also have here, we have everything we need inside this firebox that we would need to set this up in tent teepee number 9. Total weight of this package is 16 pounds. Otherwise the weight would be approximately 12.5 pounds. What we have, we got 3 pieces of telescoping pipe. We have an adjustable elbow and a 4-inch titanium spark arrestor. What I also have here is another set of nesting pipe that's in a pass-through sleeve that we will demonstrate a little bit later as how this pass-through sleeve, what this is uniquely made for is to use in a tent teepee, which it allows you to pass the stovepipe through here, thus giving you a dead air space between the fabric and your stovepipe. There again, you have your mitered heavy-duty frame door, your corresponding form door, the air intake diverter, positive latch, a heavy-duty handle, your air intake, and we also have a side shelf. We'll set these legs up. Has the same sort of legs as in the Ultralight 1. Gives you strength and stability on the bottom. It's easy up, easy down. Gives you your snow float capabilities. what I like to do, I kind of hold these brackets in my hand. Start your side shelf on one end. Line that up with your hole with your side support brackets. And see there, you have yourself a heavy-duty side shelf. You can get an optional second side shelf. It's very nice when cooking for groups, because then it'll allow you have to realize when cooking on a wood stove, once you start to boil, now you shift it over to the right and left, and that becomes your adjustable range. So boil, simmer, keep it warm. So there we have the Ultralight One Titanium, the Ultralight Two Titanium, available at 4dog.com, and we've been making these since '99. Been proven throughout the world. Used extensively by hunters, trappers, and adventurers. And for more information, visit 4dog.com. Have a good time on the trail.